Right, greetings, my fellow descendants. It's your boy right here, K-Pro, and I'm back with yet another interesting brand new tutorial. Oh yes, I know you guys have missed me and all that, so I'm back, and I'm back for good. All right, so this time I'm pulling up with something new, something fresh. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be dwelling more on going deeper into English, guys. So before I continue, please do make sure that you press the subscribe button, number one. Number two, I know the groups are full, right? So I'm gonna be creating, I just created 2 new groups for Masters in case of there's a lot of inflow or there's a lot of traffic. So please do join with the links that are under the comment sections. And then another thing, guys, I will be dropping a textbook, an English textbook, guys. So I would really appreciate it if you guys got it. You understand? It's, you know, there's those people that learn visually, there's those that learn you know, by reading things and stuff. So it will be very effective or essential for you to get that one. You understand what I'm saying? And then do follow us on TikTok, follow us on Facebook, you know, Masters and all that. Just get with it, you understand? I'm very happy to be back after taking a very long hiatus. You know, I was just dealing with life, I was just dealing with everything, but I'm really happy that I'm back, and I'm back to make sure that now the 2023 matriculants are gonna get distinctions. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm giving them something that I didn't even give the 2022 matriculants, right? So do subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's also going to be a membership option as well that you can join and get exclusive videos as well, guys. Please do subscribe. Please do drop your comments. I will surely respond to them because I'm back full time and all those kind of things. Thank you very much, guys. Let's get to it. So today, guys, I will be talking about a very interesting thing, right? I'll be talking about paper 3, right? But I know that there's a tutorial on this YouTube channel that talks about paper 3, but now listen to me. But remember that I spoke about essays and transactionals, but I never actually went deep into them. Do you understand? So I decided that I'm actually gonna now go deep into transactional writing, because transactional writing has a lot of options. So like I'm gonna be talking about transactionals. Okay, for those that are new to this YouTube channel must know that K-Pro has a very poor handwriting. So every time he teaches, he recommends that the learner has a pen and paper so that they can listen, not look at what K-Pro is doing here, because he has a very poor handwriting. And in most cases, when K-Pro teaches digitally, he doesn't write in full, he writes in letters. So that's the only way. This system that I'm using of writing in letters has made over thousands of people to get distinctions in South Africa. You understand? So I trust my method and I'll never change it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Thank you very much. So let's talk about transactionals. I won't write it in full. It's very difficult for me to write digitally. I won't write it in full at all. So we're going to talk about transactionals. Right. So it's the transactionals. So guys, I'm gonna be first talking about, now I'm gonna start bit by bit. So in this tutorial, we're talking about transactionals, but not all of them. We are talking about now the letters, right? The letter trilogy. I call this now the letter trilogy, right? It's a letter trilogy, so I'm gonna call it L3. Right, it's the letter trilogy. Why do I call it the letter trilogy? It's because now we have what we call a formal letter, we have what we call a friendly letter, we have a letter to the editor, and letter of complaint, right? But I call it the trilogy for a specific reason. Do you understand what I'm saying? Oh, and also an email, right? An email is also a form of a letter. So I'm gonna tell you why do I call this a trilogy. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna dwell on the email at all, but I'm just gonna tell you why I call it a trilogy. So we are doing the letter, transactionals, the letter, right? So don't forget to subscribe. Tell your friends that I teach English. Okay, guys, it's so simple, right? If you want me to be your tutor, it's so simple. There's no need for you to ask for the price. Monthly, it's just 300 rands. Do you understand what I'm saying? But now, if it's towards the November exams and now you're under pressure and I have to start from all over and make sure that you get a secure distinction, the prices vary and it's up for negotiation. But for those that are still watching before October, you guys still have an option of paying 300 rands per month, and you guys can get tailor-made tutorials, or you can get tailor-made lessons through my smart board. Right, cool. Let's talk about it. Now, basically what is happening here, it's that now you must understand that we have what we call a formal letter, right? We have what we call a friendly letter, right? I'm gonna put a circle. We have what we call the letter to the complaint and the letter to the editor. I'm gonna say LC, letter to the complaint, and then letter to the editor. All right. Okay, and then we have now what we call now it's an email, right? Which is an email address. Guys, an email to me is a form of a letter, right? Because an email is the same as the olden way of making a letter, but now an email is just now a digital way or the digital format of doing it, and most people know how to write an email, right? So I won't even go deep into an email at all, so I'm not even explaining the email at all, right? So I'm just going to be talking about now these four, hence I call it the trilogy, because if you can see, you'll understand better why I call it the trilogy as we move on, right? So there's an email, there's friendly, formal. You're probably asking yourself, why are they in the same circle and everything? Just watch and learn. English is very, very easy, guys. You guys can just get distinctions if you guys were very, very serious. A friendly letter, number one. A friendly letter and a formal letter. A friendly letter. Okay, let's talk about it. A friendly letter and a formal letter. So I'm gonna say it's FR and a formal letter. Formal and a friendly letter. Now let's talk about it. A friendly letter and a formal letter have the same format. Right? They have the same format. What am I talking about when I'm talking about the format? I'm talking about now something like this. If this is your page, definitely the address of the friendly letter, a formal letter, is gonna be everything, the dates and everything, and then it's gonna come and say, skip a line, and then you're gonna say dear wara wara, dear wara wara. Note, I have a document that I'm gonna give you guys regarding this thing that you can use to make your understanding better, right? Download that document. If it's not downloading, don't approach me on WhatsApp and tell me that it's not downloading. Go and ask in the groups that I'll be creating. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I was thinking of creating three groups where there will be English paper 1, and then English paper 2, then English paper 3, then there will be documents for paper 3 only, documents for paper 2 only, documents for paper 1, and then there's also other subjects that are going to be available for tutoring. So they're also going to have their own WhatsApp group, so that we do not all flood in the same WhatsApp group but talking about different subjects, right? So can you see this format? We learned this format from primary school, right? The address at the top and everything like that. So can you see why I'm saying these are twins, right? The friendly and formal letter are twins. Same thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? But what is the difference right now? The difference is that a friendly letter, as a person who knows English very, very well, we allow you as the learner to say, hi girl, I miss you. We allow you to say that. It's a friendly letter, which means your speech, your choice of words, your vocabulary is not restricted. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can even use more shortened words. Like, for example, you can say W-U-D. You can use words such as hi. You understand what I'm saying? Hi. You understand? So you can say words such as hi. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's a friendly letter. Remember, you're talking to your friend. You might be talking to your aunt, your sister, or whosoever. And you've obviously, let's be realistic. When we talk to our friends, there's a certain vocabulary that we use that is in style. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that we can connect better. Right? So when you're writing a friendly letter, the marker is actually looking at the fact that how friendly are you? How free are you? So you must be as free as possible when you're writing the friendly letter. Once you see friendly letter, think about being free. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because now you must be able to show the marker that you are exploring your freedom by using words such as hi, what you doing, shorten the words, you've. Instead of saying you have, say you've. You understand? Instead of saying would not, say wouldn't. Shorten the words. Just try and be free and be expressive at the same time, and try and make your letter to have content. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's a friendly letter for you, right? Remember, I said they have the same format. The format doesn't change. What changes is the content and the vocabulary only, right? Because this is a friendly letter. So obviously there's a lot of emotion involved there, right? There's a lot of sincere pains. There's a lot of, you understand, it's more personal. A friendly letter is also more personal. I hope you're writing down, because the next thing you guys are going to be on my comment section saying that the video was not useful. No, don't do that, guys. Right? It's better that you write down whatever I'm saying so that it can make sense to you. Hence, I'm saying now the friendly letter is more personal, it's more expressive, it's more emotional, more emotive language. It's free. There's a lot of freedom. Born Free are very good at this letter because they are able to use the words such as hi, hey, how you doing? I just wrote this letter for you. You understand what I'm saying? You just be more expressive. I'm not saying you slang. Now listen to me. You're not supposed to be using nigga here or using hip hop words here. No, we are not rapping here. This is not a freestyle. If you wanna go and freestyle, go to MTV Base. This is not a freestyle. I'm talking about English words that could be shortened up or could be made abbreviations. It's not abbreviations, actually, it's acronyms. Do you understand what I'm saying? Then you can use those when you're writing this, because it's a friendly letter and you can be as emotional as possible. You can be as personal. When I'm saying being personal, it means that you can say anything. You can talk about anything. If you're raped, tell your cousin that you're raped. If your friend, it's your friend, tell your friend that you failed a maths test and you got 5 out of 100 because you didn't study. You're busy walking your girlfriend to their house after school. Simple. Because I know that you guys do it, and then the next thing you want distinctions at the end of the year. I've been there before. Right. Alright. Now let's talk about the formal letter. Phew. Okay. The formal letter and friendly letter, same format, nothing changes. Now what changes now is the content. A formal letter is something that you can now write to your colleague, your boss, I don't know who else, but anyone of importance in the community or significance in the community could actually get a formal letter. And a formal letter is something that you can also write to your teacher or your principal. Now listen to me very, very carefully. I'm saying in a formal letter, you cannot use abohai in what you're doing because it's formal. Just imagine, formal and friendly. Listen to me. We are going to a funeral, and when you come dressed up as a nigger who's wearing chains, does it make sense? No, there's nothing wrong with your clothes, but your clothes don't fit the occasion, because that is a formal occasion. So you should have dressed in your white shirt and your shoes and whatsoever. So this is the same thing. The formal letter needs to be as formal as possible, which means now your vocabulary, there must be a lot of respect when you're addressing this person. There must be a lot of professionalism so that this person, when they read this letter, they can understand that you are saying something or you are passing on a message, but also you are respecting them. Do you understand what I'm saying? So formal basically means that there's no slang words, there's no acronyms that are being used a lot. Everything is just straightforward, exactly as it is. We usually used to call this the boring letter. Not we usually, who am I talking about? I usually used to call this the boring letter when I used to practice. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's just like that. You understand what I'm saying? So I hope I make sense with the formal and thing. The format is so simple. If you want to see the format, come on, just go on the description, and then you download the resource pack, and it's gonna show you everything, the formats and everything. Right. So I spoke about this one. So I'm gonna just go deeper about it. I'm just gonna go deeper. Oh my God, this thing has a problem of not wanting to erase, but I'm gonna force it to erase. All right. Okay. Cool. There's somebody who said on my comment section, stop saying yeah, ne, or stop saying ne, 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 ne. I have to advise this. If you feel like what I'm doing doesn't give you any form of benefit, you should move to other YouTube channels. You understand? Because once I am saying ne on my tutorial, I am thinking, or there's a sense of thought, or that's when my nerves are actually bringing upon something that is a form of knowledge to you. So if you're also going to control my speech on these videos, or how these videos should be put out, then I'm sorry, I'm not going to tolerate that. I just want to have fun with my learners that want to learn, that want education, that are going to comment with positive comments, that are going to subscribe, join the groups, we talk, we communicate, and that's it. And then guys, also, if you I have to emphasize that sometimes you might text me. I get like thousands of texts from learners. Don't come with attitude and say, you don't want to help me. No, guys, I will answer your text. My learners are used to me. I answer their text after maybe 4 or 5 days. But at the end of the day, I'll answer their text. And because I get a lot of texts at the end of the day. You understand? And when you ask me, don't ask me to do a question for you or to do whatsoever for you. Ask me properly to do something that you see that I can do. Because if you are the one, all of you guys are going to ask me to mark your papers or do a certain question for you, I'm no longer a learner. Obviously, I'm going to get lazy and not do it. Okay, guys, so let's be realistic. Ask realistic questions. right? Ask realistic questions. Get straight to the point when you're talking to me. You understand? There's no need for you to say, hi. Just say, keep it brief. Like it's like you're writing a letter. Hi, my name is this and this and this. I'm from this school and this school, this school. I'm 19 years old. I'd really like to get a distinction in mathematics, or I'd really like to get a distinction in English HL, and I'm prepared to start your tutoring classes. I heard you charge this much and this much. How do you get to do this? Then we do that, and then that's it, right, guys? Let's just be like that, as formal as possible, right? And if there's anything that we have to talk about, we can talk. I'm a very, very friendly person if you get to tell me your story properly, and if you get to be patient with me and not give me attitude. But once you come to me with attitude, that's where the problem is, because now you're feeling like you're entitled. So, guys, let's be fair. The group that I taught last year, they were very, very loving, very, very caring. I had one of the most nicest times with them, even though there were fights at the end, but it was nice. So I really like that this group, this year's group, it must also be the same, guys. Really, please, please. I don't like to be wasting time while I'm in the middle of tutorials just to address a few matters. No, please, guys. Right. So, number 2. Remember I said it's a trilogy, right? Trilogy meaning 3 things. All right. Now, hey, we have what we call now a letter of complaint, letter to the editor. Bona sheba ngwanaka, baby girl, listen to me very, very carefully. Letter of complaint, letter to the editor, they have the same format. Where are you gonna see the format? It's in the description of K-Pro's video. Now listen to me very, very carefully. The format is like this, just to keep it brief. This is your page. I know your page doesn't look like this. Your address is here. Your address, skip a line. You put now the address of who? Of this person that you are writing to. Who's the newspaper editor or the owner of the store. I'm just going to talk about it. Then you say sir or madam. Then you start writing wara, and then you say a warm regards. Okay, sharp. Now listen to me very, very carefully. A letter of complaint is a letter whereby instead of your mother screaming at the whole shop because they did a bad service, instead they write a letter to the manager of the store so that they can deal with the situation. Right? You don't memeza at the shop. No. Show that you're a citizen. Show that you're a respected citizen of the country. Show that you're well-mannered so that you can attract tourists to our country. No unruly behavior. But we're not there. It's fine. I'm just joking, by the way. All right. Letter of complaint is where now we can complain that I bought Nike shoes last week and these Nike shoes have something or something like that, or they were stained inside or whatsoever. So these ones are usually written to the store managers. Do you understand what I'm saying? Or the store owners or whatsoever, the managers and so forth and so forth and so forth. So the letter to the editor, this is so easy. The letter to the editor is the one that is now written to, it's either the editor of a magazine or the editor of the newspaper, right? It could be a digital newspaper or an online newspaper or a physical newspaper, it doesn't matter, but it's those two, right? Why would you write a letter to the editor? It's either there's a story that you want them to cover, or it's either, but obviously when you write your paper 3, they're going to give you a scenario. It's either there's a story that you want you want them to cover about yourself, or there's a story that they wrote about you that you don't like and you want to be removed. Okay? Or there's a suggestion of a story about somebody in the community, or maybe there's a suggestion that you want to add to their publication. And then you can write the letter to the editor and tell them that whatever you want to tell them. As simple as that. The tone, okay, no, not the tone. The vocabulary, which is what we call diction when I taught paper 1, is always the same. The diction is formal at all costs. Yeah, now you are talking to a businessman, you are talking to businessmen and businesswomen, you are talking to people that are well respected, you're talking to people that are well mannered. So it's very, 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 very important that you keep your tone as formal as possible. Even your introduction here, Your introduction is not something that's going to try and impress. Your introduction is just to get straight to the point and say, I am writing this letter due to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do you understand what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? But we don't start a letter to the complaint or letter to the editor in that manner. What you can do is that you can quote at least a very, very, very popular quote that is related to whatever you're going to be talking about, just to attract the edit, right? But when it's a letter of complaint, no, just get straight to the point. I'm writing this letter to talk about the shoes that I bought last week Friday. They're in a bad condition. You start telling them, because there's nothing. Why do you have to impress somebody that you're complaining to, right? But the letter to the editor, remember, you're trying to get featured on this magazine article, so it would be good if your introduction was interesting in a way whereby you can use a quote, you can use a rhetorical question, the works, right? Cool. I hope I made sense. All right. Okay. This thing that just doesn't want to rub off. I think it's bad spirits or something. These tigoloshis have to go now. I am tired of them. They are ruining my work now. Whoever is sending them, all right. Yeah, we're gonna go deeper and deeper now, yeah. I'm not teaching you guys the email because you guys always receive emails. Vet sends you emails of rejection. Vet sends you acceptance letters and says you're provisionally accepted. So you've seen what an email is and you know how to send emails, most of you guys, right? So let's make the most out of this lesson that I just taught right now, right? What is it that you have to do to get most marks in this thing? Is to understand the format, right? One thing about the letter, the marker, my teacher used to tell me that the marker is just marking your format first. So the address being on top, and then, okay, the dear being there, dear whoever, they are marking that. The yours faithfully, they are marking that. The introduction, they are marking that. The body, they're marking that. And the conclusion, already there's marks allocated just for seeing the format. So always get the format right. If you have to cram the format, right? And then your content now is actually the one that is going to get you now those relevant marks. Now I have to talk about something. This is transactionals, right? Right. The letter, guys, before you write the letter, you must do what we call planning, right? PL, planning, right? So which means now you must draw a mind map before you do that, right? Before you write your letter, you must draw a mind map, right? You don't have to do first draft, right? You just get straight to the point and do your final draft. But first, you must draw the mind map to show proof of planning, to show that you planned. I hope I'm making sense. You must show that you planned whatever you are doing. So mind map would be whatever you are writing about, letter of complaint to whoever, or friendly letter to whoever, and then you start to brainstorm your address. You can say intro, here you write introduction, then here you say how much I miss you. Let's just say it's a friendly letter, how much I miss you, holidays in December, wara, even this side. Just brainstorm your ideas so that they can see. They don't even read what you wrote in these things, but it's just that there's planning. The fact that there's planning, then they can give you marks. Do you understand what I'm saying?